Hey, after Mordog, after nearly months of this, I figured that we have gotten the kinks out. We haven't. Shout out. Cheers, Ordog. Shout out to my boy. Love you very much. Shout out to us. Love my boy. Um, Big shout out to the boys. Guys, Slabs on Sunday with Sprague Sports and comedian David Ordog. Uh,
Cheering so hard without my beer ready. But here we go.
there's no, cheers, buddy. There's no better definition or example of the dichotomy between who we're supposed to be on this than I'm in a plain white t-shirt with a Rockies hat on, and David Ordog is rocking Sunday Fun Day to the absolute max right now with this Hawaiian shirt. I love it, buddy. I love this. Have you been doing this all day? Is this just all day? Was there like an impetus to it, or is impetus the right word?
And she and I just put on the cutest things that we could put on. This was it. I look cute as a button. So
Is he's also wearing the shortest, gimpiest shorts you've ever seen.
some short, like cute, like
You didn't notice about Ordog. He's got a dumper and AK,
no. That
Cal Raleigh to bring this into baseball. So big
this
dumper.
isn't. This is Big Cat. Travis should be wearing a hat because I don't have. I have a cute butt, but it is not big. No. This is
With some legs. All right. If Ordog was a girl, every guy would be just absolutely over.
for a specific.
Take, baby. That
There
take.
he goes.
There he goes again. So if you can't tell, we're really on one right now. We're on one. We're firing on all cylinders like we never don't.
Today, even Travis, I got a Cody Bellinger. Look at this, dude. Look at this. No border.
The picture variation. Hold on. So before, I don't know if I'm going to opening right now, but before we kick off, I need you to tell me what we're opening. So are we
24 Series 1, 12, hanger, and 1 Series 1, 25 hanger. That's what I got. A 24 1, a 24 Series 1, and a 25 Series 1.
This is what we got. This is what we got here for me to open. So we either have Heritage High Number 2024, Heritage High Number. We have the hobby box of the Topps Hobby Box 2025 Series 2 Fanatics Fest exclusive. So this will have some exclusive Fanatics Fest stuff in it. We got the 2023 logo fractor. We got the 2024 Inception. And then the one that we got like six more of is the Jumbo the Series 2. I so what a challenge. I my thought is that we kind of got to continue with the Series 2 trend, right? And we should do this. But we need one more. Oh, we need one more to open up. We need one more to open up. So Ordog, I'm gonna let you pick the secondary box.
With the series. Oh goodness. Let's go with the one that's on your farthest right, the short fat guy. Oh, is that your left? No, that's your right. Oh, because it's reversed. Okay. I got you.
That's a great answer by David because I love 2023 series. So we're gonna put that aside. So we'll do this, but but we're gonna put our differences aside. We are the world, right? Live the world. Live Aid was like 40 years ago today. So it's my mom was telling me, and Liz is normally right about that stuff. This stuff. Look
Maybe
it
she
up. You
was.
have you look it up. You have your phone. You have your computer
No,
right in
I
front of you.
listen. If she was saying it today, I believe it. It's just I was saying like how unlikely would that be? But you're saying you said it because you heard it, so that makes sense.
Liz tends to read books and magazines and newspapers, which we don't do.
I thought you were throwing shots in the dark like a joke. But I get it.
Very rarely shoot from the hip. I'm normally
You never, dude. You always,
I'm every time, bro.
almost
Like
every time, Travis. If I had to describe you, I would say, I'd say surgical would be the first thing that comes to mind.
we got a lot to talk about tonight, but we're gonna go on a couple tangents as the Ordog's going there. Dude, do you know what I've been watching over the last week? That no, but um, you're getting warmer, so I'll give you one more guess. Nip tuck was a good way to go. Nip tuck was a good way to go. It's not. It's way more medical than killer. Not bust, but another good guess. That actually went a little further away. Like you were probably at a 6 or a 7, and you went to a 5. So dude, we're having some good fun. Um, so the algorithm on Facebook and oh, that's a good one. The algorithm on Facebook and Instagram has been pretty good to Travi Patty recently. And first card. This is gonna be good. Do you want to know how I know this is gonna be good? First card of the whole box. Mickey Moniak, Colorado Rockies. Love a rock. So the I this is like 4 months ago. I had been, checking out. I'm on Instagram, doing those death scrolls, and I had gotten a couple of um, show skits, like shorts from a show that pop up for the show The Rookie. I don't know if you know the show The Rookie. For the show The Rookie. And so I saw like few of those clips, and I eventually was like, all right, you know what? I'm going to give the show a shot. Like, it looks good enough from what they're showing me that I'll give it the 45-minute chance, right? And so gave it the 45-minute chance, and I really liked the show. And I eventually watched the whole show, and I'm now watching it. This new season just ended. It's right, so good. Very happy I did it. So I recently the algorithm has been doing the same thing. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. That's a hot, hot start. Um, we got the article out in the first pack, which, as you're well aware, is not my favorite thing because I like to dig and have things to look forward to and talk to. But it's a pretty good one, so I'm okay with it. It is an all-star National League card, no numbered autograph of not Hall of Famer, but Phillies Hall of Famer, Ryan Howard. I'm actually pretty okay with this one. I'm hoping that this may be a little juiced box over here, Ordog, with how early we got this. Like, that's an early find. We've seen it before, and so that's pretty effing cool. I'm really okay with that. Uh, Derek Crochet insert was next, which is really good. Um, oh my God, Hideo Nomo, who I haven't thought about in like 30 years. Uh, All star insert. He's wearing Dodgers. When was he?
For another team. Hey, he was a sock.
I was so right. I love when I'm right. 30 years ago in 1995 is when this card is from.
Mo's an old guy.
I love when I'm right.
We
So
know. Trev, I got a cool little. What does this say? This is the leaders. Matt Olson, Pete Alonso, and Ozzy Albies trio. It's a fun trio.
doing a couple good trio cards. I'm really happy with this Ryan Howard. Also, dude,
Rookie.
oh, that's a good one. I love his auto, dude. Look at how clean that auto is from Ryan Howard. I'm a big, big, big fan of that. Damn, I'm super stoked on that. That's a super cool card. I'm really, really stoked on that. He is. He is, dude. We're going on tangents. That's okay. That just leads to a better show. Um,
Well, Chris Bryant.
on Instagram today from BetMGM, and on it said all of the Colorado Rockies starters have a combined WAR. Every pitcher that has started a game for the Colorado Rockies this year has a combined WAR of negative 5.2, which as the BetMGM account swiftly pointed out, means that you and me sitting here on this podcast have a better WAR than the Colorado Rockies rotation. Wild, wild, dude. Finish the story before we. I know where we're going, but like we got a lot of podcasts left. I know now you look red. Hold your breath a little longer. Mm. I'm so right, bro. Look at that.
This is not. That's
What I was looking at there, bud.
white, brown, and red.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you look like a Neo. Mm. Sorry, was that mean? Was that too much, or was that good? I thought it was kind of funny. Okay, so I got to finish my story, which we're leaving the people on the edge of their seat about, which is I recently saw a couple clips on the gram for the show The Good Doctor, and had decided to give the show a shot, and I'm almost done with season one, and I'm a big fan so far. Big, big fan. It's a really good medical show. I mean, I don't know shit about medicine, right? So, like, all of it could be complete horseshit. But it's a really good medical show. It keeps you entertained. It tugs at the heartstrings a little bit. It gives you really good life lessons. It gives you a little bit of what I think this country, not to get a little political, may need right now, which is, you know, understanding people that are different than you. I don't think that's the worst thing in the world. Some people may think that's a pretty bad thing to say, um, but I think it's a good thing to understand people that are different than you. So if you haven't seen The Good Doctor and you're looking for a new television show and you like medical shows to just give a chance to, give it a chance, give it a shout, give it the first few episodes, and I have a feeling that you're gonna like it. I have a feeling that you're gonna like it. So, Ordog, now on to your question. I know where you were going, but I will let you finish the question because
All Colorado Rockies here into Fenway Park.
ooh, a little of 70
Can we just say how cool it is?
of
What's
74 rookie right here. Love this. This is really nice. Carlos Navarez, Carlos, New York Yankee, New York Yankee. So we love this guy. Um, so Ordog, I'm gonna give you a couple things, which is I'm not gonna promise, but I will not I will not get emotional, but that day was truly a day that I will never forget for the rest of my life. Partially for reasons you will not think of. Actually, a lot of it will have to do with what you won't think of. But, you know, and there is a story behind that. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, sit down, grab a beer, grab a non-alcoholic, grab whatever, grab a water, get some popcorn, because it's story time. It's story time, Chiefs. If you don't know from watching this show, one of the things I appreciate most about David Ordog, he is an incredible listener to stories. He asks all the right questions and he's very engaged. So I love telling Ordog stories. So here we go. That day is the outset of how this happened is Ezekiel Tovar was nice enough to help me, and I've been helping him with some stuff, and he was nice enough to then help me in return. And so I was going to these games regardless, and so the funny thing, Ordog, is there was a great human lesson here. I messed up. There was a mistake that was made, and while the mistake uh, cost what would have been great, it didn't end up costing in the experience because the experience was so amazing regardless, right? So, so the outset of this is Tovar was hooking me up with tickets to this game. He was getting me batting practice to it. Unfortunately, I gave Tovar the right day the wrong date. And so we got our star-crossed things messed up. And he had got me everything for Monday, but I was going Wednesday. So I ended up not getting for BP and getting the tickets that he got, even though I got the tickets that he got, right? I had them in my account. He had sent them to me. This is no fault of Tovar's. This is literally, um, I had said, I want to go to the game on Wednesday. He sent me something saying the 7th. I confirmed without even thinking about it because I just kind of
perfect? But you just said a day, and you thought it was
did and it didn't, and then on the day he gets the tickets sent, and it was wrong. No foul, literally. Like, I do not, that this is in no way, shape, or form his fault. It's my fault. It just kind of was what it was, but it ended up working out great, unbelievably, because there were things that happened that wouldn't have happened if um if I had gone through with the way that it was supposed to go through. And sometimes things happen for a reason. I wouldn't trade the experience for the experience that I could have gotten, if you know what I mean. So the only thing that would have changed it would have been if Tovar was actually there, which unfortunately Tovar is still hurt. Oh, that is Paul to the Hall. Who's that? Hey, Darren. I was like, it was a Mets jersey. Um, oh, was it Braves? Okay. Hmm. so things happened that wouldn't have happened if I had done it the way that it was supposed to be done, right? And because of that, it works out great. So the day started with me actually going to see my grandmother, and my grandma is in a living facility on the way from Williamstown to Boston, right? So it's on the way through, and my dad. To be fair to my dad, basically said, "Travis, you don't need to do this. Your grandmother is not in." The best of states, et cetera, et cetera. She's moved to a place that's worse than what she was there before. Like you do not need to do this. I don't want you to do this if you think that this is going to change the way that you see your grandma. And all fair, right? All fair. And I told my dad in no uncertain terms, there's nothing that's gonna alter my perception of my grandma. There's not visit is not going to change, the 33 years of my life with her, right? And so, I said, let's go do this. But I was, to be fair, very prepared for this to be a very bleak visit, right? And if I'm gonna if I'm gonna pat myself on my back for a little bit, if there's one thing I've always prided myself on in these issues over the last years that have happened with my grandma, is that by some miracle of God, true miracle of God, I seem to bring something out of my grandmother that is not normally there. And that I've talked to my dad about. I think part of it has to do with the fact that I am named after her father, right? So my name, may evoke something in her, right? So, when I was with my grandma, it was not a hot start, but, it ended up being, I'm so glad I did it because this memory of my grandma surpasses anything I could have, which is, while I know she's struggling and she has her issues that she's been dealing with, and they're not easy to describe, and I don't really want to, go into it, but you know, she is not very verbal, and I was able to get her to talk to me in her sense of talking. When we got outside and she was able to, realize what was going on, she grabbed me, pulled me in, gave me a hug, gave me a kiss without me prompting, right? And one of the things is you know when you go there, you have to wear a mask, right? It's sunny out. I'm wearing a hat. I'm wearing sunglasses. And because of my grandmother's issues, I want to make sure that she can see all of me so that she knows, if she can, who she is. So no sunglasses, no mask, no hat, right? And so this is literally the reason I'm wearing this hat right now. I have the hat on the table, and my grandmother goes up, she wheels up, she grabs the hat, she puts the hat on, she grabs my sunglasses, puts the sunglasses on, and I was able to then spend, some time with my grandmother that was something that I will truly remember for the rest of my life. And having me going to a Red Sox game, going to the Rockies, and her doing that with a Rockies hat, it meant every everything in the world to me. And I I'll risk it again, and I'll go back over the time that I'm here because that memory will never be able to be supplanted in life. That interaction, that everything will never be able to be done. And it was, when your day starts out that way, you know that there's nothing that's going to bring you down, right? You know that, you know I'm not a very religious human being, but you know that the cosmos are out there saying, Travis, you're going to have a good day. and I had
Or you get. Do you know at this point that things are like because Monday's already coming past? You already know things are messed up.
or at this point I have accepted that me and my I'm not going to BP. You know, we don't have the tickets in the family friend section. I've accepted all of this. Not that like it was something I needed to accept because like woe is me. I was going to watch the Rockies against the Red Sox with my dad. Like woe is me, right? Um, yeah, well, we ended up buying tickets ourselves, and not to get the hey, let's go. All right, dude. I wish this was last week. Oh,
What's out there? What's out there?
I wish this, and I'll tell you why. Albert Pujols 150 relic right there. Wow.
This
Oh, wow, wow, wow. I'm really
the
happy about
full.
that.
We
Well, wah, wah, wee, wah. Hey, a little Jaron Duran OPS leader. So I am point that it was what it was, right? And but as I said, what is me? I'm going to a Red Sox game with my dad, right? And so if you had followed it and you'd see my story and everything, it's crazy to think that this is the case, but it was actually the first Boston Red Sox game in Fenway Park that my father and I had ever attended together, which is crazy to me. Like,
sports background. I think that's pretty great.
Boston sports fans. Oh, geez, you don't see that very often. Where did this just come off of? God, sorry, I got a cut. I got like a cut of the
Ooh,
card in
let's
there.
find. You're gonna find a little short guy in there, little the skinny boy.
But yeah, dude, as you were about to say, considering everything, right? Considering um, my family's background, where we're from, everything. It is incredibly surprising that that's the case. And my dad and funny enough, my dad and I traveled up to Fenway to go see BC play BU in the Bean Pot that was played at Fenway Park before the Winter Classic. Look, double check me, double check me. I think it's
It's even more surprising that like you have. I don't know. It's very surprising.
oh, is it numbered? What is it? Oh, let's
Numbered.
go. It's not even another numbered. We're hitting these all stars, and the irony of this is that it's in. Dude, this is so funny. Soto. Dude, this is gonna end up being right now a hot ticket because he got snubbed from being in the All Star team, and this is his Mets All Star card. Oh, 84 of 90. That is a smooch. Um, another one, Soto.
Shoot, I don't have it around here, but I got the Shohei up there.
Another one, Soto. The trifecta of Sotos. Wow. Um, but so yeah, double check that year for me.
They played outside.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Winter Classic at Fenway Park.
I mean, you said 2008. Do you think we were in college yet?
No, I don't. I think it's either 2008 or 2009.
Then yes, 2009. But I think you might be right, bro.
Survey says
NHL Winter Classic. List of NHL Winter Classics. 2010. Fenway Park. Bruins
we're
over Flyers.
Bruins over the Flyers.
2-1 in overtime.
Okay, so it was that, but that is the only time my dad and I have been to Fenway together. I know, crazy. So to be able to go to Fenway and watch a baseball game with my dad was, dude, another numbered card, bud. We got another numbered rookie.
It looked almost. That looked crazy. That looked crazy.
That it's hard to describe. And, I think the thing that was really special is the fact that it was a Rockies game, right? And so, to your point, I'm decked in Rocky stuff. But well, breaking news on the pod. Breaking news on the pod. I, I wore my Brenton Doyle jersey, as I do all the time, mm, to the Rock Sox with this hat. It's a new Rockies hat. I actually got this in Cooperstown. This is going to be my new Rocks hat. I'm stoked on this. Um, so I was going to wear my Brendan Doyle jersey. We were going to go because I'm assuming it was going to be just like the Rockies and we can get in at the same time. We could do the same things, blah, blah, blah. Right. So I was going to go to BP for the Rockies, but like I was just going to stand on the outside instead of being on the inside. Like no biggie at the end of the day. Like literally the only difference being I'm standing on the field. So I we go in, it takes a little longer, but my plan was, wear the Rockies jersey and then eventually take the Rockies jersey off. And underneath my Rockies jersey, the whole game, I was wearing Teddy Ball Game. The whole game. The whole game. I was wearing Teddy Ball Game. And so I I just decided for the reasons that I'm about to tell you, the story that I'm about to tell you, that I was just gonna rock the rocks, right? I was just gonna rock the rocks. So, right, but it wasn't, dude. It was like 73. It was great. It was. I would have been hot as ball sack if it was hotter out, but it wasn't. So I really got lucky. But you're gonna love this story, or dog. So when when we got in, I immediately went down and I got it. Oh, I left it over there. I was gonna actually bring this over to show. I got Jordan Beck to sign a card immediately, and I chatted with Jordan Beck for a hot sec. They were all stoked to be there at Fenway for the first time. I asked him where he signed um,
Oh, yeah. I guess they don't play very often, right? Because we've met
the
in the
way
World Series before.
the
So
way that it works now is that the every team plays every team every year, right? The National League teams play each other home and away. The American, or if you're the same leagues play each other home and away. The interleagues only play one series. So every other year it switches, right? So last year the Red Sox played in Fenway. in cores. This year they play in Fenway. Next year cores. The year after that Fenway. Right. So I asked him, and they all went in and signed the Green Monster. Asked him where he signed, and he said he signed on the door because he wanted to, make sure he knew where it was, and so he signed right on the door that you got in, which I thought was pretty cool, right? So, so I end up talking to him for a hot sec. Saw Big Michael Toglia. He was signing, was great. Ended up meeting one of his buddies from UCLA. And then my BPNs, right? As it does. And there's like an hour and 10 minutes between BP ending and the start of the game. So if you're in that early, yeah,
You?
valid question. And I, we will get to this at one point in the story. But no, Jordan Beck would have no reason to know who I was or recognize me. There's no reason I wouldn't.
Please.
Speaking of Shohei,
Could you imagine? Yo. Could you imagine if that was like, I don't know, who's sick?
that's the guy that had the Shohei base. Um, so no. There and there would be. Well, let's be really honest here, Ordog. There's no expectation that any of them would recognize me outside of um would recognize me and outside of anything. There's no reason any of them would recognize me except for two of them. There's only two of them I would. Zeke would be one of them, and Jeff Criswell would be the other one. Which I'd, I if they missed me, I wouldn't be there like, oh, they didn't. Oh, like I'm not vain. Um, I don't know if that came across as vain. um, we end up going, and my dad and I go to our seats. So we end up sitting on third base side because I wanted to sit on the third base side. A, out of the sun. B, Rocky side. Give the boys some support, right? So as some of the pitchers are walking off, I see a couple of pitchers, and Zach Agnos has a ball in his hand, and I'm like yelling at Zach because I want a ball. And I was like, the only one here in a Rockies jersey, throw me the fucking ball, right? He didn't. He threw it to someone else, and but the guy is part of this story. So what ends up happening is as they're walking off, this woman behind me starts yelling, Zach, Zach, it's mom, like Zach. And Travis being Travis, she's Ordog literally from like 2 arm lengths from me, like not far. And so I, as Travis does, turn around and go, are you Zach Agnos's mom? And I'm like, and she's like, no, I'm not. I'm actually Brad's mom. And that's how she phrased it. And I immediately looked over and I was like, you're Bradley Blaylock's mom because Zach Agnos was walking with Bradley Blaylock. And so she was being
Remember.
funny. Like she knows them, right? Like she's being funny with them, right? But Travis being Travis and knowing or not knowing these guys, but knowing who they are, right? Being and knowing the 40-man roster was like
The situation.
insert myself into a situation. Um, was like, oh my god, you're this guy. And she said she was like, no, I'm not. So quick story is probably 3 months ago, there was this guy sitting next to me or near me at my season tickets who was very loud, very boisterous. And as I found out, shockingly, was from New York. And
Hey.
I'm booking it. and he is wearing a game used, authentic Bradley Blaylock jersey. And if you, this may be slightly vain, I'm using that word again,
Come from.
but like you don't know who Bradley Blaylock. You're not just wearing a Bradley Blaylock jersey, right? Like he's on the 40-man roster, but he's like up and down between the Rockies and Albuquerque. Like you you're not wearing his used jersey and in the first place unless there you have some sense of a connection to the guy, right? Like, no way, right? Like,
Trout. He's
it's
not.
not Chris. It's not for not Brendan Doyle. It's not. It's not Chris Bryant. It's not Hovar, right? Like, it's not. It's the guys that if you were wearing one of their game used jerseys, I'd look at you and be like, "What are you doing right?" Like, no offense to Jan Keel sitting right here, Jan Keel Fernandez. Like, if you're wearing Jan Keel's game used jersey, I'm like, I'm talking to you because what's up, right? You got to be something. And so this guy and I, we end up starting talking, weird, but like semi normal guy. And he drops the piece of knowledge and goes, Bradley Blaylock's uncle. And I'm like, dude, unbelievable. And we start talking, tells me the whole story, where they're from, how like all of it interacts, right? And then he was like, I'm going down to Albuquerque to go watch him play. Do you want me to take one of your cards that you have for him to get it signed? And I was like, dude, yeah, of course, that would be awesome. Great, blah, blah, blah. And no offense to Bradley, the card costs $2, right? I'm not doing this for like $150, $200 baseball card, right? I'm not just like handing it over to some guy. So, I've been sitting there and I told the linker, right? I told Ryan's met this guy, right? Like we've all met this guy. All of the Rockies people know this guy. He's a season ticket holder as well. Like they know him. And he lives in Boulder. And I was sitting there and I was like, dude, how advantageous of that, you know, he's a Rocky now, right? So fast forward to last Wednesday. I'm talking to his name. His name's Steven Slabs or something like that, right? Not Blaylock, right? So I meet the mom, and I'm talking to Bradley's mom, and I eventually go, "Oh my god! Oh, we got our last. There we go. Last hit of the Packer, Major League material, Nacho Alvarez Jr.
Major League Materials.
Major League material. Um, and I was like, "Oh my god, I met your brother." And to be fair, before I say this, Steven is from New York with a New York accent. Trisha Blaylock has a Southern drawl.
New York, presumably.
She looks at me and she goes, "Brother? You met my brother?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I met your brother. I met Steven." And she goes, That weird guy, Steve?" And I was like, Yeah, I guess. He's going he's going around telling people that he's my son's uncle? And I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Weird.
He ends up that they were at Rockies Fest over the winter. and they met this guy, Stevens Sikorsky or whatever, right? And he just kind of latched on to them and ended up being complete weirdo to them. And she tells me that like Brad hates the guy because he's going around like trying to butt himself into their family shit, right? So they had no clue that he was going around telling people that he was part of the family. So we end up telling the story, we go our other ways, and my dad and I are just like sitting there chatting, and she ends up coming back up to us and has someone on the phone. And she's telling someone this story on the phone. And I'm looking at the phone, and they have the picture of who the contact is, and it is a very, very attractive blonde woman. And I'm sitting there as single Travis being like, no, not thirsty. Please be the sister. Please be the sister. Right? Like let's like that would be great. Let's see if I can get in there. Turns out it's the girlfriend of Bradley, but the mother comes up to me, end up telling the whole story to Brad's girlfriend. And at the end of the story, Brad's mom like interrupts me and just goes, "Guess who it was?" And she goes, "Oh my God, was it that weird guy Steve?" We both just started dying laughing. I didn't do it, but I was so close to. I thought about it to asking her for a picture and texting him and just going, "Oh my God, I met your sister," and just seeing what the response was.
Will say weird stuff and be weird, but now is your dad experiencing any of this?
My dad is witnessing all of this, and I. Um, oh no! Well, my dad met Steve, but he like met Trisha.
He like freaked out, or is he just like whatever, or is he like
I ain't laughing. You think it's the funniest thing in the entire world, but um, you know, what was very fun for me, right, from the whole experience of being at Fenway with my dad is, I got to show my dad, me going to work. Like like, talking up and schmoozing with the ushers and talking to all of them. Ended up going to like the Authentics place in Fenway and getting the contact information with them so that I can hopefully get some game used cool stuff from the Red Sox. And it was awesome. And so I Fenway had a bag policy that said, none of this, and you basically essentially you couldn't, unless you were a woman, you're not bringing in the bag, right? Because all they allowed was like purses. So I didn't bring much, but ended up being wrong, right? Because I saw people with like all sorts of bags inside Fenway, and I was in there like, what the fuck? Oh well, but live and learn. The rules, and so I ended up being like, I'm gonna bring my graph book and just like, whatever happens, happens. And if I can get some, I can get some. And like I had the ideas of who I wanted. So people were like, what was wild to me is at Rockies games, at least on the Rockies side, autograph hounds, if you know what an autograph hound is, aren't a thing. Like I've actually never seen one once at Fenway Park or Coors Field. And for the audience, what an autograph hound is autograph hounds are people who go up with large books that are not in any way connected to rooting for anything, and they're trying to get autographs from players for the purpose of selling them. So like uh, big thing is they go up with like jerseys that they have this weird thing like hollowing out and protecting the jersey with one place for them to sign it. Like they're very in talking particular and in talking to a couple of the Rockies players, they know who they are like really quickly. And dudes, they just stick out like a sore thumb, right? Like the example being if you're at a Rockies game decked in Rockies gear, but you're over trying to get like six autographs from the Mets that are in town, right? So they're really easy to spot. And they were at Fenway, bro. Holy jump. And we're sitting there, and it's these guys with like books the size of my like laptop. Like they are huge. They've got like eight cards and down in lines, right? And
Are they good sports to fill them out, or are they like what's the vibe? So what are they supposed to do? As a pro, are you supposed like are you like obligated to like fill?
like, like, I know. Okay, I see what you're saying. You're not obligated to sign anything that you're not that you don't want, and you're not. If you go sign, you're not obligated to sign a certain number of things. Right? There's no obligation to do anything. It's of whatever your heart desires. Example being, when I went and I said Jordan immediately signed for me. Right? I have I my buddy Ryan uses a book, and Ryan described to me why he uses a book. And it's because you're able to hold more cards at once and you don't have to fumble through your pocket for things, right? It just puts them all, it's, you puts them all in a very concise little place. But like Ryan, yeah, that's the linker. The book that Ryan and I use fits four cards per page, whereas the book that like a hound uses fits 10. What they're huge, right? And what they do is if you looked at my book, it's very rare bunch of different cards. You're not signing the same. I do not want the same card signed. I want all unique different things because like example being as I've explained on this before, I'm trying to get like rainbows done, right? Like I want to get all the rainbows. So I have all these different cards that get done, right? But so when we went and I got Jan Keel signed, and Jan Keel signed one card, right? And he just came up, saw it, signed one card. And when Jordan did it, Jordan I had the four cards in front of him, and he was like, "Hey, like, do you want me to sign any specific one?" And I was like, "No, like, pick whatever card you like the most." And he was like, "Oh, I really like this card," and that's the one that he signed, right? And to me, that's I don't care, right? Like, I don't care which one you sign. Like, I'm just grateful to get one. So if you like and think something's sick, cool, then I'm gonna get more things like that because then you'll probably sign them, right? Um, but like those, what Jan Keel did of just signing one is what a lot of players do. What Jordan did is very rare, right? Him asking which one is very rare, and then he signed that one, but he didn't sign the other ones. But just asking was even more, personable than doing anything else to me. And then Brenton Doyle, which I'm finishing the story with the story about Brenton. He signed all four, right? Like there are some players that if you present them with four, they'll sign all four. There are some players that if you present them with four, they'll sign two. Some that'll do one. Some that will look at the book and just skip you over, and that's just the reality of it. And like, it's just how it goes, right? I there's a guy that I follow on Instagram that I'm actually thinking of unfollowing him because he is I thought he was just like an autograph seeker, right? And me, uh, Hard Linker, Aiden, one of our other buddies, like we just collect autographs. Like that's what we do. Like I'll, at one of these podcasts, I'll literally bring out my. I did I move it? It's a case filled with all of the Rockies autographs I've ever gotten, and the only ones that I don't have in that box are the ones that I've given away to kids as the thing that I do. And but this guy on Instagram, dude, like he's at this golf tournament right now, which has a bunch of professional athletes at it, and he's posting stories about like the people that are skipping him over, and he's like. I've been skipped over by Steph Curry like 10 times. And I'm like, dude, what? Like they're not obligated to sign anything of yours. It doesn't they have no obligation to do any of this. They're doing it out of the goodness of their own hearts. And if they do it, great. If they don't, who cares? Like
It's like,
if they don't do it, like why ever hold it against a professional athlete for not signing something of yours? Like, in what world is that like a normal thing to do? Like we're quite literally asking them for a favor.
where I ask the question, it's like, do they have to? Is there a vibe thing where like if they don't do it, are they like considered like jerks or whatever? Because it seems like at a certain point, if I was a professional athlete, frankly, I'd just be like, hey, I don't want to sign any of this stuff for the guys that are in like binders. Just go away, get out of here.
Care about that, right? Like if that's how you feel, I I am in a very unique position, right? Because I have been able to actually have like real conversations with a couple of these athletes about the way that they perceive things, right? And as my mother loves to say, everyone lives in their own reality, right? So if some of them sit there and they see you with a binder of cards and think that you're an autograph hound and think that you're trying to sell it and they think that you're trying to steal autographs away from kids, then don't sign it. I have no qualms about that. Like I couldn't care less because like as I have realized not real but what I truly believe they're doing it out of the goodness of their own heart, right? And guess what? They're also doing it before they go to work, before they go to work. Like imagine someone solicitor sitting outside your office asking you questions before going to work every day. Like, would you want to talk to those people all the time? Probably not. Like maybe once in a while, but you're not going to sit there and do it. And some players make it part of their routine, right? Like Francisco Lindor, Ryan McMahon, like they literally have a routine, and Lindor has expressed it in public. From my experience, Ryan McMahon does it as part of it. They have a routine, and part of that routine is interacting with the fans and going over to those fans, and they do it. But like Jordan Beck, great example. Great example. Jordan Beck does the same thing. He has a place that he goes over right next to the fans, and it's very funny to watch the players. Jordan Beck, right behind me. Um, the people who don't know it when he does it, right? He goes over to where um there's like a board that sticks out that has advertisements on it, and he uses it as like a stretching post. And so he goes over and he's like as far as me to the camera and stretches. And that's what he does, right? And sometimes he goes and signs, and sometimes he doesn't, right? And there are some players who they have a routine, they do the same thing, and then they go into the dugout to get prepared for the game, and they don't sign at all. And it's never, it's all that's fine because like they're professional athletes. They've gotten they got to this position for a reason. And they've gotten to this position by doing certain things that have gotten them successful. And so, you know, they can, if they want to keep doing those things, go keep doing those things, buddy. Right? Go keep doing those things. And I truly despise people who sit there and like hold it against the athletes or like say say sh- who say shit against it. Like I think it's just an absolutely asinine way of looking at the world. And like go.
I don't know if you've said anything. I mean, I think you said a lot of stuff along these lines, but um, I think. Oh, here we go. Um, One of the reasons they like anyone who is getting a lot of signatures is trying to put that signature out to somebody, right? So it's not like they're hoarding signatures. It's not like they're hoarding 200 signatures for themselves to use, right? They're getting the signatures to sell to somebody who wants to own a signature. So it's like it's also creating a market. I think if you wanted to be like these people are evil, it's like, well, someone wants to own a signature and that person literally made it possible for them to get one, you know?
Point being, I'm not actually I'm not holding it against autograph hounds at all. Like, not holding it, but the people I do hold against to are people who hold the grudges against the athletes who don't sign. Like, if you want to go be an autograph hound and go do that, go do it, dude. By all means, go do it. I couldn't care less, right? But if you go do it and one of the players skips over you and you try to and you try to like lambaste that player and make that player look like an asshole for not signing it. No, you're the asshole. Like it's not. It has nothing to do with because like I can't, in good conscience, or dog, say that autograph hounds are bad and what I'm doing is good.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's like they're creating a market for somebody to get a signature they otherwise wouldn't be able to get.
Of why I give kids autographs. It is quite literally the entire premise behind it. Because to me, I got into baseball and I used the Jay Payton connection. If you've been on, you listen to me enough, you know this well enough. I don't need to keep explaining it. But me getting an autograph of a baseball player made me fall in love with that baseball player. And I followed every aspect of that baseball player. And as a result of following that, I fell in love with the game of baseball. And as a result, direct result of my father bringing me to baseball games at Shea Stadium, going to get autographs at Shea Stadium, growing up and loving baseball, and my dad allowing that love to flourish is the only reason I am here. It's the only reason. And if there is one kid on this planet that I can pass that on to, then I will give away 1,000,000 free baseball cards. Because, like,
A lot of people.
what makes me happy, I- like, I having Tovar and having Tovar sign, a bunch of extra cards for me, and me having a few extra Brenton Doyle cards, and me being able, like, I wish I could show you this phone and read the message that these two kids' mothers sent me, which is I saw these two kids. They were in a Tovar. I saw the Doyle jersey. I saw the Doyle jersey, and I had the extra Doyle card to give away, and I had one extra Tovar to give away. And I saw the kid walking up in the Doyle jersey. Brenton didn't come and sign. He went to like the other place, right? And they didn't get his autograph, right? And I wasn't out there getting autographs, like I was just sitting in my seats, and I saw these kids walk up, and I knew that he had the Doyle jersey, and I went and I looked at him and I say, "Are you a Brenton Doyle fan?" And he was like, "Yeah, I love him." And I was like, "I've got something for you." And I went in and I had Brenton Doyle's autographed rookie card that I gave to him, and I knew I did. I saw that he had a brother, right? You can't give something to one and not give something to the other, right?
Immediately.
Okay. Or you want the parents to have a fucking problem later at night. So I had an extra Toglia card because I'm just bringing extra cards that I have some amazing autographs, but the way that I started getting them was I got the cards that I had with me signed. So I have a bunch of just like base rookie, cool, tiny little inserts that I have that I now have, of fives, one of ones, of 50s, right? Like I don't need the base little ones anymore. And so I give them away to the kids. And so the one that I had in my pocket was the Toglia one. So I just pulled the Toglia out and I was like, here. And the mom goes, "Oh my God, was that a Tovar? He's his favorite player." And I was like, "It's not, but turns out, kid turns around, what's he wearing? Tovar jersey." So I was able to give both of the kids a Tovar and exactly what they wanted, exactly what they needed. Tovar wasn't playing, and the message from the mom was, "Thank you so much. That was the best day of my kid's life." And and I that is literally that message from the parents is worth more than any amount of these baseball cards could ever cost me because I if one of those two brothers grows up to become a pro baseball player, fall in love with baseball, do something in the sport that I love, then I know that this entire company was worth it in every way.
It's amazing.
And that's my stop little emotional story for you today, dog.
If you were sobbing, now you're sobbing because you're happy rather than sad. So you're welcome for having
Brought you guys some joy
this
because
moment of peace.
well, yeah, moment of your partner brought here by Travis Spring. Um, but yeah, dude, I just think it's great to spread love to other people, my friend. It is great to spread love to other people.
For the
Spread
soul
the
and
love, spread the joy. If every human being can go into this planet and make two more people's lives better, then every person on this planet would have a better life.
sense, Travis. It's true. Got to be true.
We're not trying to be philosophical here, but you know,
Big.
it will be a little a Yoshida logo fractor. That's not bad. I like that one a lot. Brett Beatty one's pretty cool. All right. Yoshida. Dude, he came back. First game back was the game that we went to, and he crushed it. He went 2 for 3. It was crazy to sit there and see someone who had a batting average of 1,000. Like, that was crazy. You really don't, just like with the Colorado Rockies, you don't see 6 starting pitchers with an ERA above 5. Crazy.
That's true.
Was that mean?
No, it makes sense.
Ooh, that is one too.
I think you're right, buddy. I hate when you're right, but you're right.
Okay. All
Uh
right.
oh. Uh oh.
Back to back numbered logo fractors. Back to back. And we got a green, which is my favorite. Those are pretty sick. The Corey Seager, I really like that one. Of 75, of 99. Yeah, boy.
9 of 75.
I'm holding off on all the other fun cards that I got, maybe till next week. Uh, but I'll give you a little hint. The up and coming superstar for the uh, Kansas City Royals is one of them. Up and coming. And I don't know if he's. No, I said up and coming. Jack Cagliano. I don't know if you saw my story. And I haven't heard back, so hopefully I've got to reach back out to them. A Elon Phoenix just got called up by the Kansas City Royals. A Elon Phoenix. So I'm gonna try to get one of his debut things. I think that would be pretty sick to get. Um,
To you too.
oh, what's up? Um, that is Ryan. Um, what's up, Ryan guy? How you doing? You're missing. I know, of course he does. You missed a good little show, but Ryan, I got the Satchel Page in front of me, which is great. Jan Keel auto, and then this is the of 10. I didn't even highlight this yet. I'm glad Ryan came on. Uh, of 10 Tovar Doyle relic that I'm gonna try to get signed by both of them. I'm super, super jazzed by that. What does he say? Filthy stuff, filthy stuff. Um, Ordog, Ordog. So I want to get a. We've got the cool stuff to open still, obviously, but I'm gonna try to order something crazy off of David Adams for the last show before I head back. I also realized I have enough jerseys to change out jerseys while I do this because all of these are being sent to JSA to get authenticated at some point. And so I got little Mr. JB. You know what we didn't even talk about at all is Ryan. I don't know if Bum have missed Ryan. You're here for a good part. The MLB draft was today, and the Colorado Rockies got Ethan Holiday with the 4th overall pick, which was wild. I mean, for basically the entirety of the draft or the mock draft existence, he was like the number 1 or number 2 pick. And I'm gonna blank Ellis Willett, I think, or Eli something Willits was the number 1 overall pick by the Nationals. Um, no,
Will
no,
it
no, yeah,
blend?
good one. And
I love
so
that you respond. Wait, no, shut up.
yeah, I know, but it was a good joke. Um, He went and then two pitchers and then Ethan Holiday. I think there was some sort of collusion that happened, but I'm okay with it. And Ethan was drafted to the same team that his father was drafted to in 1998. So welcome home, Ethan Holiday. Ryan has a theory that Ethan is going to forego college and he's going to go straight to the pros, which would be great for us because spring training. And I already the last pick by the number three overall pick by the Rockies last year already has a picture with my dog. So I need to get the trend going and get Ethan to get a picture with my dog. Um, but yeah, Ordog, another great show. We got some good stories going in. As always, final thoughts for the people.
Travis, it was great hanging out. Great talking to you. I'm stoked that you had such a great time with your dad, and what a weird and fun experience you got to have at Fenway. Congrats on getting to go. Was it your first? No, you said you got to go to Fenway, but it was legit your first game. It was your first Sox game at Fenway.
First, it was just my been to Sox games at Fenway. My dad has been to Sox games at Fenway, but we have never been to a Sox game together at Fenway. And we've been to a bunch of Sox games, but they've always been in New York, which is just crazy to me. But yeah. So that was the first. I appreciate it, my friend. Anything else, Ordy? All right. Well, people, we love you guys. We are on the All Star break this week. We'll be watching some cool stuff. Have some more to talk about next week. Uh, Love you guys, Ryan. Thanks for showing up, and we will see you guys next week. Peace.